So we're going to talk about how to convert from vertex form to standard form. And so the front of this page is going to be a review because you've already done this. Number 5, and then the second page will be converting from vertex form. Okay, so for number 1, it says simplify. And so you have lots of parentheses that signify distribution. I'm going to be distributing an 8 here. I'm distributing a -4 here. I'm distributing a -1 here. Watch out for distributing those -1s. Do not distribute this 6x because it is not next to the parentheses. Okay, so let's do that. So 8 times x is 8x. 8 times -3 is -24. -4 times x squared is -4x squared. -4 times -5 is positive 20. Copy down the 6x. We're not doing anything with that yet. And then distribute your -1. So you get -x squared and then -9. Okay, once you've done that distribution, you're going to collect your like terms. So we always want to start with the highest exponent. And so let's get a highlighter. Our highest exponent is x squared. So we've got -x squared and a -4x squared. That gives us a -5x squared. Okay, cross those off if you're not using a highlighter so you don't go back to those. Next, we're going to pick up the x terms. So 8x, 6x gives us 14x. Oh, forgot the square, sorry. Plus 14x. Cross those off. And lastly, we have a -24, positive 20, which is, well, let's go ahead and highlight. So -24 plus 20 is -4, minus 9 is -13. Okay, and so that would be our final answer. On your test, I'm going to ask you to identify A, B, and C. And so you would tell me A is -5. You would tell me B is 14. And you would tell me C is -13, not typing in the letters that go with them. Don't type in the X's. Okay, for number 2, they are giving you standard form. Here they've told you A is -3, B is 12, C is -4. So we have standard form, and we want to convert to vertex form. So in order to do that, we need to know, this is our vertex form, we need to find A, H, and K. All right, so remember A is the exact same A value. So on the test, when they ask for the A value, everybody should get the A value. Okay, for the H, we have to work a little bit harder because that's the x coordinate of the vertex. So opposite of B divided by 2 times A. Opposite of B is -12, 2 times A on bottom. That gives me -12 on top and a -6 on bottom. Simplifies to a +2. Okay, and so now we need to find our K value. And so we have to plug in 2 into the original formula, which says -3x squared plus 12x minus 4. And we put the 2 right here in for both of these x's. Okay, remember order of operations, we have to square first. So leave the -3 alone, square the 2 and you get 4. 12 times 2 is 24. Now we can multiply. -3 times 4 is -12. Plus 24 minus 4. Remember, we have that check. This first number should be half of the second, and they should have opposite signs. That means you have the right x coordinate of the vertex. This is only true for the vertex. Okay, so -12 plus 24 is 12. minus 4 gives us 8. Okay, so if you have to write the equation in vertex form, you have your a value, and then you have opposite of whatever your h is, so minus 2 inside the parentheses, and then plus 8. Okay, so there's your formula. But if they ask you to just identify what a, h, and k are, don't put in negative 2. You want to put the positive 2 for your h value, even though you see a negative 2 right here. And then k would still be 8, and a would still be negative 3. A lot of my Algebra 2 kids miss the h value because it's opposite when you put it in the equation. Okay, so the next one I want to review is when you see two parentheses multiplying two binomials. When you see a binomial times a binomial, or any polynomial times a polynomial, make your box. Okay, so we have x plus 3 times 2x minus 4. 2x times x is 2x squared. Negative 4 times x is negative 4x. 2x times 3 is 6x. Don't say 5x. 3 times negative 4 is negative 12. Combine your like terms. 6x minus 4x is 2x. And so our final answer is 2x squared plus the 2x that we found minus the 12. And so on your test, I'm going to ask you to identify A, B, and C. You would tell me A is 2. You would tell me B is 2. And you would tell me C is negative 12. Don't lose your negative signs. Don't do all that beautiful work and forget to type a negative sign. Okay, number 4 is very similar. Just reminding you that as soon as you see this square, write it twice. 5x minus 1 squared is 5x minus 1 times 5x minus 1. If you see the square, make a square. That way you don't accidentally distribute that exponent. So here we have 25x squared minus 5x minus 5x, and then positive 1. Negative 1 times negative 1 is positive 1. Like terms is negative 10x. So our final answer is 25x squared minus 10x plus 1. So on the test, when I ask you to identify A, it's 25. B, it's negative 10. Don't lose the negative. C is positive 1, because negative times negative makes positive. These are all common mistakes I see every year. All right, number 5, this is going to be the new one. Okay, notice this is vertex form, and we want to convert it to standard form. That's what they mean by simplify. When they say simplify, that means get rid of all parentheses and combine like terms. So the very first thing you have to do is follow order of operations, PEMDAS, which says parentheses, exponents. And so you have to take care of this guy right here first. Completely ignore the 2 and the 5 and focus on that. So that's x plus 3 squared. Just like we did above, you need to make your box. So we have x plus 3 times x plus 3, which is x squared. 3x, 9. Combine your like terms, you get 6x. And so x plus 3 times x plus 3 is x squared plus 6x plus 9. Okay, as soon as you figure that out, put it back in parentheses, because now we can bring down the 2, and now we can bring down the plus 5. We've taken care of the exponent first, just like PEMDAS says. Now we have to multiply, then add. Your very last step is to add. Do not add that 5. Distribute your 2 first, and you get 2x squared plus 12x plus 18. Bring down the plus 5. Your very, very last step is to add these together because they're both constant. And so our final answer is 2x squared plus 12x, and then 18 plus 5 is 23. And so on your test, I'm going to ask you to identify A, B, and C. Don't tell me it's 3 and 5. That's from your vertex form. Those are H and K. Well, H would be -3. But here, A is 2, B is 12, C is 23. Okay? And so on the back, it says transform each of the quadratic functions to standard form. Here on 1 and 2, 3, 4, those are vertex form. Okay, and so standard form is ax squared plus bx plus c. So what I want you to do is multiply each of these out and tell me what A, B, and C are, just so we can practice for the test, because you'll have to type those in. Okay, and so I'm going to stop this video. You're going to try these on your own, and then I will make another video going over the answers.